Okay, just really on a whim, I kind of felt like shooting a hang with me tonight. I'm doing one of those mask things, and I'm like, I need to share this face with everybody. Hello. I haven't done a hang with me for a long time, and I'm just sitting stitching tonight, and I'm like, you know what? The cats are quiet, and the house is quiet, and I'm going to shoot a video. I'm going to have to take this mask off in about 8 minutes, so I'm going to have a pause in the middle while I do that and rub the remaining juice into my face. I got these last year at Bath and Body Works at their clearance, which is still going on, by the way. They have a great clearance in June. And I got a bunch of candles and hand soaps. And I typically don't buy stuff like this because I'm not real girly. But they were like $1. And I was like, you know what? You see everybody on Instagram put these masks on. And maybe my face could use a little sprucing. So this is Very Berry. It was $1. And it has like this nose bridge. But I feel like my nose is not going to get the kind of love that it needs. Right, Zero. Zero says, you know what? I love you, face mask or not. Doesn't he? So, hey, everybody. I'm just, like I said, it's I'm sitting stitching. It is Tuesday night, and it's 7:45. I've been doing a much better job lately of not working 14 hours a day. And so I'm, just hanging out tonight and stitching. I thought actually I might do a WiP parade. So once I take this mask off, I'm not going to talk to you much longer because this is annoying to look at this face with this weird thing on. I just thought it would be funny. So I think I'm going to do a WiP parade because why not? Maybe I'll stitch for a bit. Maybe I'll WiP it for a bit. I don't know. It's rainy in Hattiesburg, and we had a lot of birds come by. We've had a bunny now too. I feel like the wildlife of the neighborhood is like, hey, I had pistachios in my bird seed today. I think they probably put in like the stuff that's not pretty enough for humans, nut mixes or whatever, because there's like pecans and walnuts and whatnot. And so yeah, the bunny was by today, and there's squirrels, and one of the squirrels we're calling Barbosa. He's only got one eye, but he looks healthy otherwise, but he's got one eye missing, like just a socket. And then I was like, oh, you know what, Captain Barbosa in Pirates of the Caribbean, I think he actually had both eyes, but we're calling him Barbosa anyway. I feel like it's a good name. But now it's raining, and so then you don't see the birds. But because we've attracted so many birds to the backyard, we get singing all day, which is really, really nice, isn't it, Zero? The cats don't get too crazy about the birds. I kind of thought, well, maybe they're going to just get real upset and think that they need to chase the birds, but they haven't so far. So I'm going to actually just log off because I probably am not supposed to talk because this juice is doing its magic, and I'm going to look just glowing when I take this off. So I'll be back in a few minutes, and we're going to do a WiP parade / stitch up something. I don't know. Hang with me, won't you? Okay, I'm back. Do I look dewy? I think I look younger, like 10 years at least. Those are weird. I can see where people get into that, though. It's kind of dewy. Okay, so what I'm working on tonight, and I've been kind of working on the last week, is Village of Hawk Run Hollow. And so you can see I've got this in the last couple days. That's really cute. It's like it'd be a cute little like scissor fob or something. And this one's really fun to work on. It's an older, it's an old, not old chart, but it's probably 15 years old at least. Well, yeah, 15, like 16 or 17 years old probably, this chart. And it's been really fun to stitch. I need to hold that up longer probably. I'll hold the next one up longer. Because I just showed that one in my last video. Zero says he wants to be held like a baby. So I'm stitching in silks on 40 count Exude Designs Grandpa's sleeve. And I talked about that last video. I'm going to have kind of an itchy face now. And it's fun. I'm enjoying it. And I like that each little square is a finish. Those kind of pieces are fun to work on because you feel like you're continually making progress. I pulled out some of, I need to put some of these in project bags. I have enough project bags now for all of my WiPs, but I need to find a bigger box. That's a problem we all have, right? So the next one is this one, which is the Quaker Family Register. And it is in this book by Blackbird Designs and Blossom as the Rose, which is still available. It's really cool. I like that sampler, and she's got, you know, like initials of relatives and things. I'm thinking I may put my cat's names on it, which is weird, but you know, people will be like, oh, her family members sure had weird names. Those are my cats. And so I'm not super far. I started this during Stitch Mania, and it's going to be really pretty. I'm not super grooving on this flower right here because you can see it's like really variegated. I think it's going to be fine though. Which I'm just not as into super variegated thread anymore. I like gently over-dyed thread just because it's, you know, just not so extreme in what it's trying to accomplish. And I'm not stitching it on the called for fabric. I think it called for Wren. If I picture this plus, I'm just stitching it on, I think it's an R&R fabric, and I don't know what it is. Just something neutral. And it's in Weeks Dye Works. I really should think about like just starting that one back up. Oh, this is good timing. Okay, another one that needs a project bag is this one by Lottie Da called Rejoice Always. Rejoice Always Rejoice. And this chart is also still available. Got it in my website. I think I just got some more in. And Zero, I have a papoose for him, but I have to alter it because it doesn't hold him up high enough. That's as far as I am. I think that's the bottom. And it's in Weeks Dye Works. That was another, or no, I guess I'm stitching that in Anina's thread. It must be doing a conversion. I think there's only a couple of colors in this one. Yeah, there's only 4 colors. I just like it. I just like it. I like the kind of meandering flowers of that. And that was a Stitch Mania from last year, and I think I added it towards the end, which is why I just didn't get much done on that. Another Stitch Mania start from last year is this one by Blackbird Designs, My Betrothed. Looks like that. I think it's really cute. I love her dress. She's very skinny on the top with a wide, scoopy dress. This is one where the words... Oh no, she switches colors back and forth. To me, the words look real variegated where they kind of change. And I think I'm just going to pick one color and just do it all the way across. It's kind of distracting to me that there are that many changes. This was the most pitiful start I had. I'm not even sure which way it goes. 5, 6. Okay, it goes like that. Why am I even showing this? It's not a lot of progress, guys. A 5, a 6, and some splops. But that's a very cute one. That's an old chart too. Still available. Still available. My Betrothed. Does it say when it came out? It doesn't. It doesn't say. But I mean, this one's also got to be 15 plus years old. That's a cute little chart. I like stitching their charts because they're kind of wonky. Another Stitch Mania chart, and actually I should be working on this week, is Old Glory by Shepherd's Bush. This is a kit. I don't carry these. Shepherd's Bush has a nice website though. You can find these there. Old Glory. And it's kind of a sampler, but worked into like a flag shape. It's kind of hard to see, but maybe if I back it up. So that's what it's going to be. And I, you know, got a little ways on this during Mania last year. It's bad when you can't. There it is. It goes like that. So that's part of one stripe. This one really won't take long to do. It's on a 32 count in silks. And the silks all came with it. And I don't know if there are embellishments. I hope there weren't because I don't see any in here. If there were, I'm going to have to embellish with my joy. Okay. Oh, this one. It's fun. It's kind of fun to look through these because these are ones that, like I said, I haven't put them in a project bag yet. And so I don't see these as often as the ones that are in my project bags right next to my desk. Right, Zero. He's not happy about not being snuggled. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. This one is called Asenath Whitcomb by Carriage House Samplings. And this is a reproduction, and it is still available as a chart. I've got it in my site. She stitched hers, or had hers stitched in a blue, not Classic Colorworks, what is it? Belle Soie. Which one was it? Using one strand of Belle Soie. I don't see the color. I don't see the, oh, Chester's Blue. Chester's Blue. But I'm stitching mine in black. It's, I think, antique black. It's an overdyed silk by Gloriana. And there it is. You can see all my carries on the back. I'm a naughty carrier. That's just who I am. But this one's pretty cool. And you can see here, the second line, I have my name. I'm doing my name instead of hers. Because hers says Asenath Whitcomb at least once. Right? Let me see. Let's see, she does it once, twice. So I'm going to do my name twice. This one goes pretty quick. I'm doing it on a 36 count, and 36 count is not my favorite. I don't know why I chose 36 count for this. It could just be I had a piece of fabric. I find that to me, if I stitch in hand and it feels a little more loosey-goosey. And so now the coverage is very good. Anytime you do silk on a 36 count, one strand is very much plenty usually in silk to give you good coverage. I just don't, I don't know, I feel like it feels drapey, if that makes sense to me. A lot of people really like 36 count, but I guess I tend to, 40 count I love, 32 count I guess if I'm going to go in the, you know, in the other direction. Right, Zero? How do you feel about 36 count? He doesn't have anything to say. This one is one I started quite a while ago. I used to carry these in my shop, and I keep thinking I'm going to add these back, but I'm adding things as fast as I can. This one is a kit by Maureen Appleton. Wait, it's not Appleton anymore. Maureen Sorensen, I believe is her last name, from The Heart's Content, and she does everything over one or in silk gauze. This is a little silk gauze kit, and it did come with the frame. I don't have the frame right here with it. And these actually go pretty fast. This is going to be hard to show you because there's not so much of it done. And the thing about silk gauze is once you start filling in the background, the whole thing just comes forward and you can really see all the details. So until then, it almost feels like swimming in the dark. I've never swam in the dark. I don't think so anyway. I don't know what it feels like. So that one, you know, won't take me long. Haven't worked on it in a while. Maybe this is going to like inspire me to like give some love to these older projects because these are very cute. I've done some silk gauze before. I took a class from Maureen in La Crosse, Wisconsin, like about 22 years ago, 23 years ago. It was right before I opened my shop. She's very, very sweet and a very talented lady. She started stitching over one thread on linen because she didn't know. So she got like a kit or something, and she just was stitching over one thread because she's had always used Ada, and she just liked the way that it looked real small like that. I did the same thing. I got a little kit, like a monogram kit with a T and some little girls on it, and I stitched it over one, and it turned out very cute. It was framed, but we had a flood at my house, and that was one of the things that was lost in the flood. So I don't have that anymore. This one was a purchase at the Silver Needle when I went for a retreat just as a participant. I went with my friends. And I think Jen, oh, there was a button. I'm going to put that there. I think Jen had it or also bought it. And I was like, well, I need it now too. And it was at the time you could still get it. It was a Silver Needle exclusive. I don't believe that it's available anymore, but don't quote me on that. You could see, you know, call the Silver Needle and see if it's still available. It's called Scream House by Just Nan, and it's a 3-dimensional etui, which is just a fancy word for like sewing box that collapses apart. And so it's a Halloween one, and those are the 4 sides with the roof. And then you can see on the bottom here what the inside looks like once you pull a side down. So you actually make those little pumpkin pincushion things. And then when that all folds apart, that's what it looks like on the inside. And so, do we need these things? No. But are they fun? Yes, they are. And I also bought Mona's finishing kit, which comes with very thorough instructions on how to do the finishing. And I don't mind doing finishing generally, especially when there are real thorough instructions. I can follow instructions. I don't like doing drums. I showed you last video that Faye Rigsby did this drum, finishing on this drum for me recently. And I like it. The thing I like about having other people do finishing for me is that if there are mistakes, I don't know they're there. You know how it is? Like if somebody shows you something they've done and they're like, oh, this has got 3 mistakes in it. And then you look at it, you're like, I can't see the mistakes. Same with that. If I did the drum, I'd be like, it's kind of lumpy on this side. I don't like that. To me, this looks great. So I was very happy to have her do that. By the way, keep Faye in your thoughts and prayers. She fell down and broke her arm and had to have like pins and stuff put in. Like it was serious. I sent her an email earlier. I don't expect to hear back from her, but I just hope she's doing okay because she's such a lovely person. Okay, so stitching on that. Mr. Zero. Everybody says, oh, Zero. He's so nice. So this is, Zero, I'm going to have to set you down. This is not the best time for you to be snuggly. So there's the sides. And the kit came with the Weeks Dye Works 30 count linen. So you can see I'm done with, those are the outsides and then 2 parts of the outside of the roof. And then this frog actually is the bottom. And I think he's really cute. It says boo. It's stitched in DMC. And I think it might just mainly be DMC. I don't remember if there, this is, do you want to know what you want to know what it's like to be me? This is what it's like to be me. That's how why am I like that? I don't know. I wasn't raised that way, I promise. I just find the threads in here and I pull out more when I need them. And then when I'm done with a project, I organize everything and put it back away. I guess it's just that when I'm stitching, I just feel like I just want to keep stitching. So it came with finishing instructions and everything. And that's going to be a great project when it's done. I should shoot to get this one done for this Halloween. That'd be fun. But I haven't started at all on my purple fabric for the inside. Not super worried about it though. I'm not super worried about it. I know it'll happen. Right, Ruby? But that's a big packet. Okay, then. So this one, I always forget about this one too. Hi, baby. Hi, baby boy. So this is an old copy of Sampler and Antique Needlework Quarterly. I used to be a subscriber, and I carried them in my shop. And they stopped making it about 5 years ago, I think now. It was just too expensive to print and ship for the amount of advertising revenue that they could get in. And so they don't make it anymore, which is too bad. Because it was a great magazine. You can still find the paper copies on eBay and Etsy and, you know, like Stash and Load and things like that. But you can also order, I think on Amazon, Sampler and Antique Needlework Quarterly on CD, where every issue is on the disc and you can print out what you need. This is spring of 2009, and I saw this, you know, cover, and that doesn't appeal to me, really. Not really. I don't like the colors, I guess. It's kind of rose and, you know, I don't know, yellow green. And this, you know, like this lavender color. I like things that look old, and I think they probably were trying to match what the sampler actually looked like when it was stitched. But then they have a picture on the inside of what the sampler looked like, what it looks like now. And that's it. That's what it looks like now. And that's what I like. I like dusty. So I started stitching this, and it's on a piece of very thin fabric, 40 count fabric. I don't know what this is. I'm going to hold it up to, because if I hold it up to the light, it's going to disappear. So there's, see, oh no, not so bad. So there you can see what it looks like. This darker patch here, I started to fill in with the color, and I was like, oh no, that's too dark. But you know what? I'm leaving it because I love Wabi Sabi, and that's what the girls would have done. They would have stitched it and left it. And so I think that's going to be real pretty. I think it's going to be real pretty. I'm stitching it just in a mishmash of sampler threads. I hope I wrote them down because now I don't see any threads in here. Better look and see. I did. Yeah, so that's cool. So that's one that, you know, I don't know when I started it. It was probably 5 years ago. Anyway, it wouldn't take me long to finish. But there's just too many things you want to stitch, right? Okay, and then the last one that was in the weird, you know, storage system was another Stitch Mania piece. Lori Markovic at La Di Da made this as a kit for market one year, a star pouch. And I thought it would just be a quick stitch. It came with the fabric and the threads and everything, and so I just got a few stars done. And she's got finishing instructions in there, so it won't be hard. It comes with like a leather strap to make, you know, to make hangers for it, and I think it's going to be really, really cute. Lori always has just really cute finishing ideas, and I'm actually going to have, when I go to Galleria this fall, I'm organizing with Lori to do a trunk show, so I'll have some of her models there, which will be fun for people to see. Oop, you're all thready, aren't you? He's so happy. Okay, so let's go on to this. I'm going to pull out some of these are things are empty project bags, so I need to leave those out so I can fill them. And I have plenty. Okay. So this one, what is this one? Okay, so this is a Not Forgotten Farm. Not Forgotten Farm. Lori Brecklin. Poop. I think I have the picture somewhere. I think I remember seeing it slipped down between somewhere. Of course, it's the very last thing. Okay, so this isn't the greatest picture. It's not super clear. So it's called Salem Village. And I had just placed a huge order with her, and they should be coming real soon. Her stuff is very folky and prim, and always has been. And I like, she just like experiments a lot, and she's always drawing. And so if you look for her on Instagram, she's always got cool stuff up. So this is on a piece of my linen that I dyed. So it's kind of grungy, and it's a 40 count, and it's just stitched in DMC floss. I'm using the called for numbers, and it's going to be real cute. So I don't have a ton left on that either. I've got a row of houses, a band, and then Salem Village at the bottom. I'm about a little over half done, I guess, but it goes pretty quick, and it's real cute. It's fun to work on stuff like that. You know, like in the fall, September, like late August, early September is when I get in the mood for Halloween stuff like that. Right, Zero? Okay, this is my Linda Jo bag. I ordered a bag from Linda Jo. She has an Etsy shop, and she has bags for sale. And when I saw this, I was like, I need one of those. And I took it to my mom's house this last week, and she was like, that is a cute bag. Yes, it is. And I showed this on my last video. It's called Hopeful, and it's by Carriage House Samplings. And this was another Mania start. I always liked this one, and I know that over the past 10 years, I pulled it out a few times to start it. And so last Mania, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just start it because I've looked at this so many times. That's what it'll look like all done. I like that it's, you know, just kind of a cute little environment. Linda Jo. She's hopeful. I'm hopeful. I showed this last video too. These are Patriotic Picnic by Brooks Books. She has an Etsy shop, and she's got 3 of these kind of summery kits. And I went to Jen's last week, and we stitched together, and so I did the basket, the little s'more, so cute, and the watermelon, and I'm partway done with the soda pop bottle. I couldn't remember on my last video what my plan was to do with these, but I want to decorate one of those paper boxes, and I think I'm going to use like the bookbinding glue and actually cover a box with some kind of fabric that's fairly neutral and make kind of a 4th of July box. What do you think, Zero? He says, as long as you keep scratching me, I'm good. This is a little bag I made in a class. Oh, after a class. I took a class and then came home and made this. It's not great. It works. My technique could be better. This one is called Sing a Song of Seasons by Blackbird Designs. And I like the blues and greens. And so Stitch Mania start, and that's as far as I am. It really should stitch up pretty quick. My plan is to finish it as a pin cushion. I like finishing these little square pieces as just pin cushions because really it's more about just like the finish. Do I need more stuff on my walls? No. Do I like to stitch? Yes. And so sometimes you just do a quick, like pretty much free finish just so that it's all done. Are you so nice? He says, oh, I just gotta see you. This is my favorite chart of Nicola's from Hands Across the Sea. It is Miss Marianne Bourne's 1791. I love the bee skep in the middle and the birds at the top. It is symmetrical-ish. Not the bottom though, that's going to be fun. I love stitching big filled in areas like that. I just enjoy it. And so I started this one and it's on, okay, you're gonna just chill with me here. It's stitched on a 40 count R&R. I don't know which color. It's kind of a golden color, which I think looks really nice with the skep and everything. How pretty is that? I'm just stitching it in DMC, which I think is fine. I kind of wished I had done it in silk because I think it would have a nice sheen to it, but I'm going to be happy enough with it as it is. I'm going to be happy with it. And that is in a bag that my friend Kathy, she stitched this little patch down here. And then I think she actually had Faye Rigsby do the finishing. I think. And so I really like that bag. It's very nice. And it feels like stiff. I don't know what she puts in there, but it feels good. This is a Teresa bag. This does not feel stiff. You know what? I'm gonna bump this down and see if I can start this back up because I feel like it's glitching. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. I closed out a bunch of applications and restarted this, and we'll see if this works a little bit better. With Hang With Me videos, it's just, I don't have time to edit and be fancy. You guys can, if you're gonna hang with me, we gotta hang. We gotta hang like you're really here. This is a Teresa bag that's not as beautiful as Faye Rigsby's bags. It is cute in that it is a Tula pink fabric with cat food cans, which I think is very, very cute. And it's just got a green in the middle. And this was one of my first project bags that I made. Oh, I've got pins right in there. Needles. I know. He just gets frantic. And it was one of my first zippers. I hadn't done a zipper for a long time. I think when I was in high school, I made like a floral print, like wild floral print suit with shoulder pads and a mini skirt. And I'm pretty sure it had a zipper in the skirt. I didn't save that. It'd be funny to have it. There's no way I could fit in it. That was many pounds ago. Right, zero. Okay, he's a good boy. So this is Ida Nolt. And it's very folky. I'm stitching it in silks. You can see a big clump of silks up there. And it's just cherries, very summery, folksy summery. Okay, just relax. And I think that's on Pecan Pie or something by Needleworker's Delight / Silkweaver, but it's not. There's what it looks like. I think that's really, really cute. And so I'm stitching it just in whatever it called for. I may have had to make a substitution or two if I didn't have the threads, but that one is not available anymore. Hands to Work. You can sometimes find those charts by Hands to Work on eBay. And I look for them sometimes because there are a few I would like to have, but I don't know that I one time have ever seen that chart. I don't know if it either wasn't one that a lot of people bought or if it's a chart that not a lot of people want to part with, which is probably what it is. It's very, very cute chart. I used to sell that one at my shop. Okay, I think that's empty. See, I've got some empty bags, so I need to fill these up. I need to fill them up. Okay, this is a GGR Designs which I'm stitching. I'm just doing a conversion as I go, which is a pretty brave way to do a conversion, I guess. And it's, again, a piece of R&R, not sure the color. I don't keep track. So there's the big part at the bottom with sheep. And I did, last time I stitched on it, I did that brick wall. And so it's a pretty big sampler. Gigi always has such cool ones. She charts them for sampler threads typically. This one, do I have a picture of what it looks like all done? Here it is. That's what it looks like all done. I love that cow. He's the reason I'm stitching the sampler. Love the cow. And I worked my way down this side so that I could start stitching the bottom, because that's what I want to stitch. The rest won't take that long, really. But I want to stitch the bottom. Like, I think even that bottom area would make a super cute piece just finished, just as the bottom. That kind of little villagey kind of feel to it. As far as I know, this chart is still available. I don't carry the Gigi R designs yet. I would like to start adding them to my site. You can probably find that at the Attic, I would guess, in Mesa, Arizona. Oh, I didn't tell you what it's called. That would help if you're interested in trying to find it. It is called the Polka Dot Cow Sampler, Anne Harding, 1811. Oh, zero, so nice. This one I started during Stitch Mania also, and I've not gotten super far on it. I'm stitching it in these spooled silks from, they're a Veriswa, right? But it's a, you know, kind of a different way. It's a one ply, thicker kind of silk thread. That's what I've got done so far. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. And the thing I like about samplers like this is that they're full of small finishes again. I like the idea of, you know, you do this and you move on, you do this and you move on. Let's see if I have a picture. So this is a Long Dog Samplers piece called Moulin Rouge. And it was really kind of the first Long Dog piece that was like, pow, like people noticed. And you can see it says 2000. Does it say 2005 on it? I thought it said 2005 somewhere. Am I seeing things? 2003. 2003. So this, and this just, they, you know, she got real popular real quick. I'm stitching it on a 34 count cream linen that I don't know where I got it. I think it was a leftover from my shop. But I love red thread. I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't love red thread? I mean, if you don't love red thread, you can't be a stitcher, I guess, right? I'm gonna throw the plastic bag away. Okay, I don't carry those, but again, the Attic might be a good place to look. I'm sure you can find it online. A lot of people carry Long Dog, and I would like to start adding those back again too, but I can only do so much. This one is Esther Sayer by Plum Street Samplers. And it looks like that, which I love. I don't know why I love it. I do. I think it's very feminine and pretty. I'm stitching it in just miscellaneous threads, and I'm actually just picking as I go. I really wanted it to look like the original. And so, once again, this is one that's kind of paper thin, the fabric, but you can see how it's going. It's pretty. It's pretty. And, you know, I think I started doing the black over one, and I was like, oy vey, because that's not so fun. But really, not a lot of work left in that one either. A lot of these are just like, hey, I need to plug away on this for a week or two, and it'll be done. It's just a matter of deciding which one gets my love at the time. This is in one of those love, I think, what is it called? Love You More bags? So Much to Love bags on Etsy. And, cute bag, very sturdy, very well made. Right, Z. This one bag I got on Etsy a while ago too from my husband. It was on my Etsy favorites list. It's the Hall & Oates H2O cassette tape. Love me some Hall & Oates. Loved cassette tapes back in the day, right, Zero? He says I love cassette tapes too. My kids tell me that cassette tapes are making a comeback because everybody likes doing the pencil trick to try to wind your tape back in, I guess. Oh, okay, so this is Henrietta by Stacey Nash. Here, I'll show you the picture first. then you'll be able to see what it is. So there's Henrietta. And I've been working on her dress. And really, I mean, once I finish her dress, there's not going to be that much left to do. I do want to see on the right-hand side the little square thing. Oop, here. That's a tape measure where it's covered. And I do want to do that too. I think it's very cute. So that's where I am. And it's a lot of filling, which is nice to do sometimes, like where you just kind of want to sit and veg out. I think that green is called, which green is it? Garrison green, maybe, by Weeks Dye Works. And I hadn't worked with that color before. No, it's not Garrison. I think it's something like an herb. And I hadn't worked with that color before, but I really like it. Tarragon. And it's very pretty. Weeks Dye Works, just some of the colors to me are just the best. She has a great eye for color. Right. You like hanging with people too? This is another bag I made. I did a better job on this one. My zipper is not coming apart. This fabric is Nancy Wolf. And you can find some of these fabrics on eBay or Etsy. People are like destashing, or there are shops that have some left. Her name is, the last name is Wolf, W-O-L-F-F. And if you search on one of those sites, Nancy Wolf fabric, you'll come up with a bunch of them. She does lots of cats and dogs. And so if you like cats and dogs, there's really cute, funny fabrics. And so I like this bag. I did a good job. I got to fix that other one a little bit. Oh, okay. So this one is Elizabeth Hudson by the Scarlet Letter. And that's what that one will look like finished. That is a picture of the original sampler. She tends to reproduce in what would be closer to the original colors. And so I feel like I may have dumbed it down a few notches when I started it, but I just went by her colors. They're beautiful. I just really like things that look crusty and old. And so this is where I'm at on this one. It's pretty though, isn't it? The words are all over one thread. And then right now I'm doing like these. These are Queen Stitch strawberries, and every strawberry is different. So that's where I'm at on those. But it's neat. The border, there's like 179 of these. I don't know how many. It's a lot of these little, I don't know what you call those, maybe carnations. And it's fine. It's fine. I don't love stitching over one. This is on a 36 count too. I would have gone 40, but I felt like in the Averissois, which is a thicker silk, to stitch over one on 40 that it might have gotten bunchy looking, and I didn't want it to look bunchy, but I did want it to still be small. I don't know what her kit came with, but what I'm looking forward to, I mean, I'm not super fond of that band there, but I love this, that. I love all these later bands, like once you get to here. And so I'm kind of eating my vegetables before I can have dessert, I guess. To me, these, look at how wonky those are. Those swoopy, I love that. I love that. Folk art at its finest. The original sampler is from 1737. I'd love to see it in person. So I'm making my own. I mean, that's kind of, don't you think that's kind of the cool thing about needlework, is you can see these great old samplers, and it's like, I love that. You can make it. Like, just get the directions and make it. And then you have your own that you can put your own name on. Cute project bag. Cute project bag. I've gotten a number of really cute project bags from viewers, and it's so kind of people. Stitchers are just like the nicest ever. This is the Mary Bars sampler, and it's by Stacey Nash. It's a reproduction. She had this at market, not 2019, but 2018, and they had started on a piece of fabric that wasn't quite big enough. This is the original, but on the model, they had to splice two pieces of fabric together, which I love that. And so I'm actually going to do that with mine. This one is stitched in Weeks Dye Works, and I'm using Porcelain by R&R Reproductions, which is a color they don't make anymore. And I mean, it's not too antique-y. It's kind of it is a porcelain color. It's kind of got a pinkish tint to it, but it's not pink. It's like off-white, but slightly pinky. So it looks really nice with all these reds and golds. This motif is really pretty. I did that. That was the last time I worked on it. I did that. This big tree is kind of funny. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I think the colors are really nice. And there is a sister chart to that one that's called like Mary's something, and it's like little accessories made from motifs in this. So like if you didn't want to stitch the whole thing. But I had to get a bunch more schneckly, because that's, even though this is kind of a gold, that's the green. And once you put it on that fabric, it does look green, which is so weird. That one will take a while, but it's, like I said, it's a very enjoyable stitch. And it's 40 count, which I love. I love it. I love 40 count. This bag I got at Michael's like 2 or 3 years ago. They just get like stuff in that's kind of seasonal. And I want to say this was like $7 at full price. And it makes a great project bag. It's lined and everything. You couldn't make it for that. You couldn't make it for that. This is, oh, I thought it was going to be stuck in the zipper. This is a Curtis Bowringer series of flowers. 1, 2, 3. I'm 6 flowers in. I'm almost done with the Black-Eyed Susans, I guess. And it's cute. It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty. And it's just DMC. And it's turning out pretty neat. The colors are, you know, I don't mind it so much. The colors are maybe slightly dated. I don't know. I haven't really worked on this one for a long time. It's probably been 10 years. So I don't know. I may have to just get motivated. My sister asks about this one every couple years. Are you still working on that thing? So who knows? Maybe she'll get it someday. And maybe I'll just quit and frame what I've got and do a give up. Okay, and this one I've shown, I know, recently because I have worked on it. Oops. Another pretty project bag. Butterflies, which is perfect for this one. This is an R&R loose feathers from 2013, so 6 years old already. The Agnes Platt strawberry sampler. This booklet comes with all 3 charts. I'm doing the sampler, the original sampler here on the bottom. I pulled their colors and I wanted it to look duller. And I found a pretty good kind of puttyish fabric in my stash. So that's where I've gotten so far. This is actually the bottom. Like it doesn't continue. So that's as far deep as it goes. I started stitching that tree, this one, too high up. And I thought about tearing it out, but I don't like to tear out. So I'm going to leave it and finish it as it is. But it's very pretty. I did this alphabet here in eyelets, the blue alphabet. And I love eyelets. But isn't that border so, so pretty? It's so, so pretty. There's not a lot of that left. I need to buckle down. It is fun to get something finished. I don't start a lot of projects, you know. I have to get like super motivated to start a project because it's just all that organizing at the front end. This one is a project bag my friend Sue made for me. She's a great seamstress. She's neat and tidy. And this one is cute because, is there a candy wrapper in there? Give me a break. Babe the Blue Ox and Paul Bunyan. Super cute. And it says made, what does it say? Made with Love by Susan Rayner. Here is what this one looks like. And it's very pretty. Anne Grimshaw, 1818. And this one I hoped to finish last year, and I didn't. But I got a good chunk of it done. It's so pretty too. These kind of samplers are so fun to stitch because you don't have to change a lot of thread. You just keep stitching. And black, and you know, just beautiful. Just beautiful. She must have been quite a gal. Again, these are lots of little finishes, which is just super. All right. Okay. Almost to the bottom. This one is, I've almost given up on this one a couple times. I don't know why. I think I just, so it's The Heart That Gives by You and I and Friends, and it's very cute. I'm not going to give up on this one. It's too cute. So that's that. It's available. I've got it in my shop. It's an old pattern. Let's see if it says 1996. That was a lifetime ago. Seems like it. So this one is in Anchor Flosses. And there it is. It's pretty. I'm doing it on a 32 count hand dyed linen. I'm sure it's R&R. I love the way their fabrics feel in my hand. Just kind of that natural dye. They're like slightly, dirty is not the right word. It's like slightly, I don't know. It's not dirty. It just, it has like texture to it, or just kind of like a cool feel. Okay, this one is another Shepherd's Bush kit. And honestly, I'm so dang close. I'll probably break this one out at the end of the summer because I really am super close on this one. This is, that's how far I am. It's got a cute little witch with a sheep. And do I have a, yeah, I'm pretty close. Have I done the pumpkins yet? Okay, yeah, so I'm to there. So I've just got this part at the bottom left. And it's a cute sampler. The framing by Jill Rensel kind of makes these pieces so super cute. I mean, they are cute anyway, but Jill is such a talented lady and so nice. And, you know, I don't know if you've stitched a lot of Shepherd's Bush pieces. This one came with fabric, so I'm just stitching it on what it came with, and it's in silks. The Shepherd's Bush exclusively uses Jill, I think, for their framing, and she does the hand painting on the mats and everything. And you can just order them directly from Jill. Like, she'll just send them to you in the mail. They are worth it. They make it look so cute. I have stitched things by Shepherd's Bush before just because I loved the framing so much. This chart is out of print. And sadly, the designer is not with us anymore. Her name was Lisa Roswell. It's called Sampler Sisters of the Thread. And she really was just kind of hitting her stride. And this would have been back like 7 or 8 years ago, maybe it's been since she passed away. She was swept into a river during a flood in her car and was not able to get out. And it was super sad. It was shortly after market that year. I want to say it was like April or May. And she was a nurse. She was an oncology nurse, I want to say. And she just was very sweet and bubbly. She reminded me a lot of my friend Sue. Very, very sweet and talented. And I feel like she really was hitting her stride as far as her style when she was taken from us. And I think about her regularly. She just really was so, so nice. And this is another one that I'm really almost done with. It's cute. Peace and love we do avow. So where am I? I'm here. So I just really have this left. That would take no time at all. Letters and words are real quick. Now at the bottom here, she's got a bunch of letters and they're initials of her friends of hers, which is really, really cool. A friend of mine was like, you know what? I just did her letters. I didn't come up with that many friends to put on. And so I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I probably will put friends' initials. I think I will. I've thought about taking that one to a retreat and letting people stitch their initial on it, you know, so that it would be like a memento of the retreat, because it doesn't take long to stitch an initial. I am at the dregs, guys. I'm at the dregs. There's like garbage in the bottom of here. No more candy wrappers, though. There's like a twig. I have a twig in here. Look at that. Trees. They're garbage. Why do I have a twig? I'm going to garbage. This one is the Hannah Pepper sampler, and this was a start a long time ago. This was another sampler in Antique Needlework Quarterly. Do I have it? What's wrong with the zipper? Oh, I just can't see the zipper. So this was a piece that appeared in several issues of Sampler and Antique Needlework Quarterly. I know I've shown this one before. I've probably shown all of these before at some point. Here's the cover of the initial one. And so this has got their reproduction, and here's the original. I wanted mine to look like this original, and I may even over dye it when I'm done. It's really pretty. It was over the course of 3 issues, so it starts in summer of 2002. Oh, this is, I said Sampler and Antique Needlework Quarterly. Fine Lines magazine. Fine Lines. And so summer of 2002, and then it's the next 3 issues is what it's in. And so it comes, and actually it's 4 issues, but the last issue just talks about how to paint the frame to look like the frame that they did. So you don't even really technically need that 4th issue if you don't want to. And I just have the 3 of them in here. So that's what the cover looked like. I picked my own colors. This one does have quite a bit left on it. I mean, I'm a good way done. It's so pretty. I'm a good chunk of the way done, and I think it's very, very pretty. And this in here is a verse over 1. I love stitching letters, but not over 1. It's just slow, but it's totally worth the result. I have heard that there are mistakes in this graph. I have not come across them yet, so I don't know what they are. There are a few over 1 things that I'm just not going to include. There's a row of birds that's over 1, like they're sitting on a line. I don't know. I'm not super jazzed about it. So I don't know what I'll do there. Maybe I'll work my own name in somewhere, because I've already stitched her name, Hannah Pepper, at the bottom. Now, Fine Lines magazine is no longer in print also. Great magazine. You can regularly find back issues on eBay for not too much money. And sometimes, I mean, I've even seen people sell like the whole set, like all of them. Is this the last one? It seems like I just started. Oh no, 2 more. 1 more. Okay. This one is another Lori Brecklin from Not Forgotten Farm. It is called the Witch's Garden Sampler. Again, not a super great picture. It's got a little lady in a coffin with a snake, which I think that's really fun. It's a little macabre. And this is my progress so far. I'm stitching it over 1 thread on 29 count Glen Shee by The Heart's Content. I started it like in the middle. I should have been more frugal with where I started this one, but maybe I'll have a few scraps left. So that's where I am. It's over 1, so it's a little bit slow going. I just wanted it to look really dainty and little. It is actually really cute in person. It is really cute in person, and it's just in DMC. I know I ordered these charts. It's called, what did I say it was? Witch's Garden Sampler, and that one should be on the way pretty soon. It's cute. It's cute. Okay, this is the last one. It's not as many as I thought. I need to start something. And this one I barely have a start on. This is called the Strawberry Sampler by the City Stitcher. I don't know if this one is, I think you can get it on her website if you Google the City Stitcher, but you have to kind of look for the link to the cross stitch charts. So I think you can get this directly from her. I'm all about that red house. How beautiful is that red house? Love it. Love it. And this basket motif is awfully pretty too. It's a fairly simple sampler, but love the folk style of it. I'm stitching this one on Grandma's slip fabric, and let me show you my exciting start. Not super exciting. I think maybe last year, like around Stitch Mania, possibly, but that's just the border. It's just that jiggity joggity thing. Obviously, the thing on this sampler that's going to take a minute is the house, because it's completely filled in. This is from 1996, so that's 23 years old also. The lawn is satin stitched, and I like to do that. But it's, it's just in DMC. It's not terribly difficult. Like I said, I think you can still get this one, so don't let somebody on eBay tell you this is out of print. I think the distributors don't carry it anymore, but you can still get it directly from her. Janet Miller. I guess I never knew her name. Very pretty. She has some really pretty samplers. There's one with a willow tree too. If you're gonna order from her, look around because she has other cute charts as well. There's one called Phoebe's Forest that I think you'd like as well. So those are my WIPs. I don't know how many that was, but I think it was fewer than I thought it was gonna be. I hope I don't have a pile somewhere. It's not really so bad. I'm pretty proud of myself that, you know, I think I've really worked through some. I just found, oop, I'm sorry, Zero, I'm sorry. He was right behind me. I just found these when I was digging those other ones out. And I guess I forgot that I finished this Stacey Nash Christmas at Hollyberry Farm. This was one that got wet when I was icing my foot because of my bone spur. And so I had to wash it, and so it washed a lot of the red out. You can see where it's pink. And I just left it because that's amazing. And so that's done. So I'm actually going to leave that out and go get a frame at Neblets this week. And then this one I finished too. That is called Nest Sweet Nest, I want to say. It's just another Button Company pack that comes with the buttons. It's actually stitched in Weeks Dye Works. It was pretty fun to stitch. I started it during Stitch Mania. And I'm going to leave this out. I probably have a frame here somewhere that will fit that. And so I'll just have to get maybe some foam core to stretch it. But it's really, really cute. It's really cute. And he's got a 3D eyeball button. That's kind of makes his eye shiny. It's very, very cute. And that's, I think I stitched it on a piece of Weeks Dye Works. No, that's an R&R 30 count that they probably don't make anymore. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe that's all you want to hang with me tonight. Maybe that's all I want to hang with you. My face feels good. I don't know. Beauty is such a weird thing because it's like, we always tell everybody, you know, like our friends, we would say like, you're beautiful just the way you are. I think you're beautiful. But then like we try to make ourselves look more beautiful. I don't. I probably should. But, you know, life is just too short. And I totally appreciate that some people enjoy makeup. I can see where it could get, you know, super interesting to try different colors and products and things. It's just nothing I've ever been super interested in. You know, in the 80s, I remember I had mascara that was like, I had green mascara and blue mascara, and I think some of that has come back. But it's just such a hassle to put makeup on. And I feel like when you wear makeup, and I do sometimes for my videos, because I find that on screen I look different than in person. And so sometimes it just helps me not look too washed out. But if people who wear makeup every day, let's say, and I appreciate it, sometimes if you see them without makeup, you think they're sick because they look like they should look, or like they do look. And it's nothing that should be expected of anybody. I think, I don't know. For me, personally, not super into it. But, I mean, I get it. It's good to take care of yourself, I guess. But, what else? Nothing much else, really. It was kind of a spur of the moment just to decide to film a little bit tonight. And, you know, I guess I, you know, just thought maybe you'd want to hang with me. I don't know. But I think I'm going to go get a bowl of ice cream and then go back to watching FlossTube. I just watched Homesteading on the Home Front with and Kyle Rekemeyer, which I really enjoy him too. And I have, you know, I feel like what I need to do is break out of I watch, there's certain people that I watch pretty religiously. And then some people I sometimes watch and then might miss a few. But then there are so many that people are like, hey, have you seen so-and-so, or have you seen so-and-so? And I need to like start maybe like twice a week, just say, you know what, I'm going to look for somebody, and maybe they're not even anybody that's been recommended to me, and just like watch some new ones. Because there are so many great people out there in FlossTube land, and, you know, it's just fun to like meet different people, see their styles and what they're working on. Sometimes you learn a lot from other people too. And it's fun to, you know, feel like you're sitting and stitching with a friend. So I hope you guys have a great night or day or afternoon or wherever it is. Ruby is tucked away anytime I leave that chair, they just like move right on in. But maybe I'll switch projects. I feel motivated now to get one done. Maybe I'll see what I can do. You guys have a great rest of the week, and I'll hang with you later.